Morning. In accordance with sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act, 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. My name is Mary Ann Casson, and I will be chairing today's session. Panel members today are Mr. Bartolo, Ms. Klein, and Ms. Sankar. And our Deputy Secretary Treasurer today is Simon Lamb. We acknowledge the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Excuse me. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person, and others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx. The meetings are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. For those participating virtually, when your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. Excuse me. Getting over a cold. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and specified persons and public bodies are permitted to appeal decisions of the committee. Today, I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda. Where an application is contested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation. When an application is uncontested, the committee may not require a presentation. The committee may ask questions and/or take the matter into committee for a decision. Any presentation or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept new materials at the hearing today. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee. Then individuals either in support or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we first call on speakers in the hearing room and then those participating through WebEx. Each speaker, including the applicant, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are reaching the 5-minute mark. When all speakers are finished, the applicant agent has an opportunity to rebut those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. First of all, are there any declarations of interest from the panel or staff? No? All right. Mr. Secretary Treasurer, do we have minutes to approve?
Madam Chair, we do. We have one set of minutes from our December 4th, 2025 hearing. Present was yourself, Mr. Nipfel, Mr. Marziari, Ms. Martin, and Ms. Sankar Parado.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Ms. Sankar?
Through you, Madam Chair, I motion to approve those minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconder? Oh, Mr. Bartolo? Thank you. All in favor? That is unanimous. And then any files to close, Mr. Secretary Treasurer?
No files to close today, Madam Chair.
All right. And then deferral requests for this morning's session.
We have a couple of deferrals. Perhaps we should mention that one of the files that was scheduled or on our agenda for it appears on our website as December 10th, but the public notice went out at 2 p.m.
Right. So if anyone is here on item 10, which is 3905 Bathurst Street, it is shown at 10 o'clock, but the notice went out for 2 o'clock. So we propose to hear that at 2 p.m. So no one here on that item? No one in the chamber. So we will hear item 10 at 2 p.m. And I think we will do that as the first item at 2. Thank you for the reminder. All right, so we can proceed to deferral requests.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have two officially, number 1 and number 9. Why don't we start with item number 1 in the 10 a.m. section, 895 Don Mills.
Thank you. Do we have our applicant for item 1? Online?
Yes. Yes, good morning, Madam Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is David Mackay. I'm a registered professional planner with MHBC representing the applicant, 7050 Western Road, Woodbridge, Ontario, L4L 8G7.
And the reason for the deferral request?
So it's a fairly straightforward consent, but our client has recently been in discussions with a potential purchaser, and they want to just have more time to evaluate the consent and the easements and determine if there's anything else required before the consent is approved. So we may be looking at either removing an easement or adding an easement to the request, and to ensure that that's properly done and not having to come back again in a few months, we wanted to defer the application accordingly.
Thank you very much. I believe we have somebody who is, are they in the audience or they're, oh, no, they're online, who wishes to speak to the application? Okay. Hello? Mr. Sao?
Oh, sorry, I had some technical difficulties with my microphone. Can you hear me?
And you still are because we can't hear you. Could you speak up or get closer to the microphone?
Hello, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm sorry about
Sorry.
that. I had to switch.
That's okay,
microphones.
not a problem. You would have heard that the applicant has asked for a deferral of the application today.
That's fine. No, I'm okay with that. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. All right, let's take this into committee. Could we get a motion for Mr. Bartolo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, I'd like to put forward a motion to defer this application to allow the applicant to complete their analysis and make any changes as required.
Thank you. And a seconder, Ms. Sankar? All in favor? That is carried.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, item 9, Mr. Secretary Treasurer, would be the next one.
That's correct.
5 SULKARA Court. Goodness. Sorry, I'm just getting to the item in my minutes, or in my notes. Okay, so this is, wait a minute. Sorry, I do not seem to have. I just need 1 minute. But perhaps you could start with your name and address.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, good morning, Mr. and also member of committee. My name is Harry from Arcadis, and I'm a planner representing the property owner of 5 SULKARA Court.
And the reason for the deferral request?
Sure. So it's a minor variance to request a relief on lot coverage, building length, and building depth. We have had continuous correspondence with city department, like city planning and environmental department, to try to address any comment potentially. And what you're seeing here right now is actually a proposal that is already see the minor variance reduced, lot coverage, building length, and building depth all reduced. And then that's to address the comment from the city planning. And then we actually already got the recommendation report from the city planning previously. However, earlier this week, just this week, we noticed that there is also a comment from Urban Forestry that was uploaded to the application information center, I would say pretty late, and is having some issue with some of the protected, bylaw protected trees. And with the reduced building footprint, we will actually have to update our arborist report, and we are also gathering the technical team to try to see, if there is any how can we address the urban forestry comment. And then, yeah, our intent is to definitely work with the city. It just that 3 or 4 days of time is definitely too short, and we don't have enough time to update the material, properly submit it to the system, and then to allow the committee and also the member public to review the revised proposal. That's why we are requesting a deferral. I'm not sure how long it is. We have to talk to the technical team, and I will work with the Committee of Adjustment and the Planning and also the division to come up with the potential time for the next presentation.
Okay, thank you. We have an area resident.
Madam Chair, sorry, I didn't hear his name. If you
Oh,
could
sorry,
repeat.
could you repeat your name and address?
Yeah, it's Harry, a planner from Arcadis. Do you need the address from the company maybe?
Your
Yeah,
last,
it's
sorry, your last name?
Harry Zhu, ZHU.
Okay, thanks, we got it. It's just noted as a neighbor on the participants list.
Okay.
Which is?
His name,
Oh, okay,
but he's the agent, correct?
okay.
Yes, I am the agent, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I see. Yes, okay. So possibly the person listed as the agent is actually a neighbor. Maybe. Don't know. Or the owner. Maybe. Yeah, all right. Fair enough. All right, so we have some residents. We have someone in person here today on this item? No? 5 SULKARA Court? All right. Online? Yes, hello?
Hi, my name is Zev Glauberson. I'm the neighbor to the property 5 SULKARA Court. I'm from 179 Sweeney Drive, property right next to 5 SULKARA Court.
All right, and you heard the applicant has requested a deferral today. Do you have any concern with that?
No concerns about deferral. We're only asking that they also look into the comments that we provided. There are multiple letters of objections that multiple neighbors shared, including significant intrusion of privacy and complete reduction of amenities. So we're hoping that the team is looking into those as well, not only addressing the urban forestry concerns.
All right, thank you. Next person?
We had a Robert Scott for in-person, Madam Chair, but you checked the chambers, correct?
Yes, I asked.
And then we have a Clive Lowry, who is not online.
Okay. And not in person. So just to double check, nobody here for this item? Oh, okay. Laura Damore? Yeah, okay. That's the owner, just for our own clarification. So we do not have, and we heard from 179 Sweeney, we do not have Robert Scott or Clive Lowry, correct? All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's take it into committee. Ms. Sankar?
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to defer this application, sine die, to allow the applicant a moment to address the urban forestry concerns, revisit his application, and at the same time, hear from the neighbors in terms of their submissions and their concerns as well.
Thank you very much. And a seconder? Ms. Klein? All in favor? That is carried. All right. And do we have any others?
Madam Chair, I don't have any official requests for deferrals for the AM time period, so why don't we move on to item number 2?
Item 2, 221 Patricia Avenue. This is to construct a new 2-unit dwelling with a rear deck. The variances are for height of side exterior main wall, building length, building depth, height of pedestrian entrance above established grade, lot coverage, area of rear deck at or above the second story, area of front porch above the second story, bay window projection into the rear yard setback. On file, we have a survey, plans, photos, support signatures from 2 neighbors, 3 letters of objection, a revised plan, and a late community planning report. We have our applicant.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Rakim. My address is 386 Young Street, Unit 1402.
Thank you.
I'm the agent. Yes.
All right. And before we begin, do you have any changes to make to the application today?
Yeah, the plan has been changed. Actually, the number 1 to 4 has been all removed. The comments.
So just to clarify, variances 1 through
The
4.
variance number, 1 removed, 2 removed, 3 removed, 4 removed,
Okay.
and then number 8 removed.
And number 8. And any changes to 5, 6, or 7?
And number 5, the coverage has been changed. 37.84 to 34.9%,
Thank you.
171.09 square meter.
Okay. And any change to 6?
Yeah, that's it. 6 and 7 we will keep it.
6 and 7 remain the same?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So let's see, we do have a neighbor who is asking,
Sorry. to
or is that the
interrupt,
owner?
Chair. Yeah, that's the owner.
Yeah.
Again, they've been listed as area resident.
That's
but
okay.
According to the address, it looks like it's the owner.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, we can just clarify with the applicant. Is the owner Daniel Kim? Hello?
I'm sorry, hold on. I have to check it.
Yeah.
The owner is Jafar and then Nazar.
Oh,
I don't see the Daniel. Yeah.
no? But they're not online? All right. All right, committee. Do you have any questions for the applicant, or does anyone want a presentation? We're now looking at, I believe it's 3 variances left. 5, 6, and 7? No? Okay. No, all right. Should we take it into committee? Oh, Ms. Sankar, sorry, missed your hand.
That's okay. If no one has any other discussions with my colleagues, in reviewing this application and noting that there's no one else who has come in to make further submissions in that type of opposition, looking at the numbers of also support letters, and also in reviewing what planning had to say and noting the reduction and revisions in the application itself, I feel satisfied, unless there's any other opposition from my colleagues that I can hear, but I'm willing to put forward a motion to approve this application as amended.
And were there any, sorry, can we have the staff report up?
The staff report had recommended full refusal, but in revisiting that, I think that the revisions
Right.
made by the applicant here today should be addressing some of that. And I think the numbers of support signatures outweigh the letters of objection. There was one letter of objection around privacy, but I think that that's been sort of dealt with some of the reductions.
All right, thank you. Do we have a seconder? Mr. Bartolo? All in favor? That is carried. The application as amended has been approved. All right, item 3, 220 REDPATH. Oh, this one was, oh yeah, all right. Thought I saw a deferral request, but yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, so this is an application to convert the existing amenity space into apartments within the existing building. The variance is for amenity space, interior amenity space. On file, we have a survey, plans, cover letter, supporting material, and correspondence. And do we have our agent? I assume they're online. Oh. Anyone in the audience on this item? We have an agent missing in action. Should we maybe move on and someone tries to contact them? Thank you. All right, let's do item number 4, 26 Lionel Heights Crescent. Excuse me. This is an application to convert the single-family dwelling to a duplex dwelling with a new front yard porch, a new 2-car garage with second floor addition over top. The variances are for building length, building depth, and rear yard setback. On file, we have a survey, site plan, plans, photos, a previous decision from June 26, 25, and the appeal decision from November 13th, 2025. And our applicant is in front of us. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Trevor Gain. I'm the agent applicant here on behalf of the owners.
All right. And your address?
10 Celebrity Place in Markham.
Excuse me. Thank you very much. All right. So we do have a neighbor, I believe. Are they in person or no? They must be online. Oh, they are? Oh, sorry. Missed your hand. Thank you. All right. So maybe you could just give us a brief explanation of the application and tell us what has changed, I guess, from the previous.
Sure. The biggest change is that we don't have 20 letters of opposition on this application. So the previous application was for some additions and renovations to accommodate a fourplex. That was kind of the biggest turning point for the neighborhood. So post committee of adjustment, we did appeal it, but we since withdrew it because we met with the neighbors and kind of sorted out what they would like and what my client would like. And we arrived at this situation you have in front of you today. So basically the proposal we have is that still some minor additions and renovations, still have some building length and building depth, but that's a result of the existing building itself was already past the building length. We have a 1-car garage that needs to be taken down just due to condition. So we're going to expand it to make it a 2-car garage, thus the building length and the rear yard setback, which has been significantly reduced from the previous application. Part of that now is that we just have a basement apartment, so it's a duplex, not a fourplex. And as per the other application, this is kind of like a housekeeping suite. It's basically for the ability for the owner's parents to kind of live in this house with the ability for in-house care in the basement. Previously, the other apartments were just for his kids to kind of get going, but that was the turning point. So we withdrew that and here we are with the duplex.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's hear from the neighbor, please. Morning. I think the microphone isn't on.
Thanks. So my name's Lynn Patterson. I'm at 39 Lionel Heights Crescent. Really, I just came today to make sure it was clear that not writing a letter wasn't lack of interest, but not objecting with support. So I was just going to say I wasn't going to speak, but I just wanted to say the Committee of Adjustment Participation Handbook that came out in the end of the year, it's awesome. I just want to say thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I
to staff. Yeah, I had nothing to do.
That's it.
But thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that comment. That's nice to hear.
Yes. All right. So I guess that is it. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? Nope. Ready to take into committee, I believe. All right, let's take it into committee. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think reviewing this application and the comments that we've heard today, I'm satisfied that this meets the 4 tests. I don't think that this garage expansion is going to have a detrimental effect, and the nature of the basement apartment is both permitted and I think gentle for the neighborhood regardless. So I'll put forward a motion to approve this application as submitted.
Thank you very much. And a seconder? Ms. Klein? All right, all in favor? That is carried. Your application's been approved. No condition. All right. Any luck with REDPATH?
Madam Chair, I left a message,
Okay,
full message. So why don't we just keep going and
Yeah.
perhaps we'll save this for the end of the 10 a.m. time slot.
sure. All right, we'll move on to number 5. 24 ELVINA Gardens. This is an application to construct a new porch and a leading staircase in the front yard of an existing 2-story semi-detached dwelling. The variances are for front yard setback, front yard soft landscaping, platform encroachment into front yard. On file, we have a survey, plans, photos, and a community planning report. Okay, do we have our applicant?
Good morning, Madam Chair, committee members. My name is Enzo Lacasano from Arch TWG.
Thank you very much. And your address?
Is 1245 Caledonia Road in Toronto.
Thank you very much. I don't think we need a presentation on this one, but if anybody wishes one, no?
Madam Chair, can I just make one comment?
Yes, you may.
There was some confusion. We're not reconstructing a new porch. We are enclosing an existing porch, but we're reconstructing the platform and the stair.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? No. All right, I think we can just take this into committee. There's nobody here on this item. I forgot to ask in the audience, but I don't believe so. All right. Would anyone like to comment or make a motion? Mr. Bartolo?
Thank you, Madam Chair, through you. I think this is a relatively minor and straightforward application. Therefore, I'll put forward a motion to approve this application subject that the minimum front yard setback be developed substantially in accordance with the site plan drawings attached.
Thank you. And we don't believe we have any other conditions. So seconder for that motion. Ms. Sankar, thank you very much. All in favor? That is carried. The application has been approved.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Okay, item 6, 593 Merton Street. This is to construct an ancillary structure shed in the rear yard of the property. We have a variance for rear yard setback for an ancillary building and height of an ancillary building. On file, we have a survey, plans, site photos, and an urban forestry memo. We have our applicant with us or online. And is there anyone in the audience on this item? No? Okay, thank you.
Yes, Joe Dome, 133 Torresdale Avenue, agent for the owner.
Thank you very much. All right. There doesn't seem to be anybody here on this item. So does anyone have any questions for the applicant, or does anyone want a presentation? All right. Fairly straightforward. No? All right. So I think we can take this into committee. Oh, thank you, Ms. Sankar. Go ahead.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. As indicated, I think that this is a very straightforward and minor application. I do believe it meets the 4 tests. And as such, I'll put forward a motion to approve this application. I'll make it subject to forestry condition number 2, and that's my motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And a seconder. Mr. Bartolo, all in favor? That is carried. The application has been approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, item 7, 28 Norcross Road. Just have to pull it up. This is an application to permit front yard parking. So the variance is for location of a parking space. On file, we have a survey, plans, site photos, transportation services report, 1 letter of support from 30 Norcross Road, 1 letter of objection from 31 Norcross Road, and a late letter of objection. Our applicant is in front of us.
Yes, good morning. My name's Matthew D'Angelo. I'm here as the agent on behalf of the owners. My address is 813 1029 King Street West in Toronto.
Thank you. And is anyone else here on this item? And we don't have anybody online, do we? No. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions of the applicant? Unless there's something you want to mention. I don't know that we need a presentation. I don't think so.
No, nothing further from.
Okay,
from
thank
us.
you. Let's take it into committee. Ms. Sankar?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to ask, and just for the purposes of him addressing the letter of objection, just to ensure judicial fairness, I see that this person is explaining that they have strong opposition. I'm wondering if the person, if the agent has looked at that and if he cares to at least make a comment on this letter of objection.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, yes, we have taken a look at this letter, and it's our understanding that this neighbor's concern is related to street congestion, related to occupants of the multiplex that's being developed on 28 Norcross being forced to park on the street because we're only proposing 2 parking spaces and there may be a requirement for a greater number of parking spots. But it's our hope that through this variance, we'll be able to mitigate the amount of nuisance to neighbors with on-street parking, which is obviously not permitted on Norcross Road. So yes, we are aware of it. And through this application, we're hoping to achieve at least some parking that will allow the occupants of 28 Norcross to not be forced to park on the street or elsewhere.
All right. Thank you. Any questions, further questions? All right, let's take it into committee. I think, thank you for asking that question, Ms. Sankar. But I think, given that a multiplex doesn't need parking, the applicant's intent to provide some parking to get it off the street is probably a good idea and should help within the neighborhood. And if additional parking is required, it can hopefully be accommodated on the street. But generally, I don't have a concern with the application. Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'll echo your same comments. I think getting the cars off the street there will alleviate some of the issues in the neighborhood. And I don't see any major issues with it. Therefore, I will put forward a motion to approve this application.
All right, thank you. Do we have a seconder? Ms. Klein? All in favor? That is carried. Your application's been approved.
Thank you.
All right. Item 8, 243 Johnston Avenue. This is an application to construct a 2.5-story detached dwelling with an integral garage, rear deck, and basement entrance into the rear yard. The variances are for lot coverage, height of a building, height of side exterior main walls, height of front and rear main walls, and number of stories. On file, we have a survey, plans, photos, revised cover letter, urban forestry report, 1 letter of opposition from 245 Johnston Avenue, 2 late letters of support, and a late community planning report. Our applicant is in front of us. All right, let's start with your name and address, please.
Certainly. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Stephanie Matviva, registered agent on behalf of the owner. The address is 100 Milverton Drive in Mississauga.
All right, thank you. We do have some neighbors. Are they in the audience? Okay, 2 neighbors in the audience. Great. So I guess we'll start with, first of all, any changes to make to the application?
There is one change. We're looking to eliminate variance number 2, which is related to overall building height.
All right. Staff, did we catch that? I don't think they're listening.
Doesn't seem like it.
Staff, for the record, the applicant is removing variance number 2 for height of the building. Is that all the changes?
That is.
Thank you. All right, because we do have, and does anyone have any questions for the applicant before we begin? No? So perhaps a brief presentation for the neighbors' benefit?
Certainly. If I could have my presentation pulled up, please. Thank you. Next slide, please. So the application before us today is for the site municipally known as 243 Johnston Avenue. It's located on the south side of Johnston Avenue within an established residential neighborhood. The immediate neighborhood, which we would define as more than 1 block in all cardinal directions, contains a variety of built forms of varying sizes and architectural styles. This leads to the neighborhood being understood to have an eclectic neighborhood character. Next slide, please. So the application before us today is seeking approval for 4 variances. Again, just for clarity, variance number 2, which is related to overall building height, has been removed from the application. The remaining variances to permit an increased lot coverage, increased front and rear exterior main wall height, and side exterior main wall height, as well as the 3-story dwelling remain applicable. Next slide, please. This is an indication of the site plan. So the home has been designed as a 2-story replacement dwelling. It's been designed in a modern architectural style and to better accommodate the needs of the family. Next slide, please. In terms of the overall variances, so this is an indication of the front elevation. What's visible here is the integral front garage is situated approximately halfway between the basement floor and the ground level. This is a unique attribute of the lot in that established grade is quite low. It's nearly halfway between the basement level and the ground level. This is it relates to not only the front main wall exterior height variance, which again has architectural built form features, including a slight projection and a parapet feature, but it also leads to the technical variance of the home being considered a 3-story dwelling, even though in practical terms, it really is a 2-story. Next slide, please. This is the rear elevation. So again, what's visible here is the unique lot characteristics in that the lot does have a sloping topography and the established grade is again quite low. Next slide, please. In terms of the side exterior wall variances and request, what's notable here is the citywide zoning bylaw requires that exterior sidewall heights be measured from the established grade to the underside of the ceiling. On screen, this is one side elevation. The underside of the ceiling would essentially be where the white line ends and the gray begins. Thank you. Next slide, please. This is the other side elevation. So again, the same technical definition of how side main wall height needs to be measured is still true. If you look at this elevation as well as the previous slide for the other side elevation, there's a general absence of windows and openings along the side main walls. This leads to effective mitigation of privacy and overlook concerns. And it also provides for a consistent built form that is found within the established residential area. Next slide, please. So just very quickly by way of context for committee as well as the community members. So these are just some very quick visual surveys. On the left-hand side is an image of 166 and 168 Florence Street, which is approximately 1 block south of where this property is located. What's interesting and what we'd like to highlight here is it is a very similar built form. So the built form features the appearance of the front main wall, the integration of the integral private garage. These are all very consistent. There's 2 dwellings that have been recently constructed that have a very similar appearance and scale. Also visible on the right-hand side of this image is another similar dwelling, again, modern architectural style, that has a very similar built form, function, and feature, again, also within the immediate surrounding area. Next slide, please. And then lastly, just in terms of the technical variance for the home being considered a 3-story dwelling, there is visual precedence here within the surrounding area, including along Johnson Avenue, as well as to the north and south of the property. There are a number of homes that have a very similar feature. Again, this is an attribute of not only the lot, but the surrounding area. And just very quickly, if I may, next slide, please. Just a visual summary of surrounding committee decisions. So what I'd like to highlight here is there is precedent for the increased building, not only increased building height. Please ignore the image on the right-hand side, which is overall building height. I'd like to focus on the image on the left and the middle. The image on the left indicates that there have been a number of approvals for increased exterior main wall heights, not only on the front and rear, but also on the side within the surrounding neighborhood. Similarly, there's also been a fairly significant pattern of increased lot coverage within the surrounding neighborhood. I realize I'm out of time, so I will stop there. Happy to answer any questions that there may be. Thank you.
Thank you. Question about the finished floor, the heights of the main floor and the second floor.
Sure.
It looks like 12 foot on the first floor and 9 on the second floor.
That's based on, it is correct. So this is based on the design as submitted. As I mentioned, we are looking to amend the application, so those heights would actually come down.
All right, I thought we only had the one amendment.
Madam Chair, just perhaps clarify with the applicant what's being deleted, and it might be helpful we put up the late staff report because it does recommend which variances modifications should be made. And if not, then the recommendation for the planner is to refuse them.
Right. So just to clarify, you mentioned that we were eliminating variance 2.
Yes, which relates to overall building height. So if we were to go back to the plan for a moment, currently, as dimensioned on the plan, the overall building height is 10.15 meters. As I mentioned, we're looking to remove that variance, understanding that the heights, there's different ways that that can be accommodated to accommodate the overall 10.0 meter overall building height. One of them is to revise the roof structure. The other way is to revise the floor to ceiling height on the ground level.
And so do we have the staff report up yet? Not yet. There it is. You've seen the staff report.
I have. And I would also just highlight for a committee's benefit that prior to submitting the application, a number of collaborative conversations were had with city planning. There is the application before committee is not the original, so it does reflect the conversations that were had.
So you're saying that variance 3 and 4 for the side exterior main walls and the front and rear exterior main walls is still being requested, and you're saying that's been reduced. But the planning staff reports from January 19th, so I would imagine they've seen the revised variances.
They have, yes.
Yeah, so they're not in agreement with the proposal.
They're not, and they did mention that they need to look at it in totality, which as good planners, we all do.
All right, thank you. All right, let's start, unless anyone has any questions of the applicant at this point? No? All right, let's hear from the neighbors.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Dan Morris. I reside at 245 Johnston Avenue. I am opposed to the application as it's submitted. I find it does little to benefit the welfare, character, and integrity of the West Lansing community. Some of my principal concerns are flooding. The West Lansing area is known for ongoing flooding. Each spring, the subject property has a small lake in the backyard that spills over to my property, neighboring properties. The size of the development will only intensify the risk of flooding, which I cannot begin to quantify. It'll put additional strain, stress on land, infrastructure, neighboring properties. Having experienced flooding already from the, in the past, I can attest to overdevelopment, what it's caused, and someone who also works from home, basement office, it puts my income at risk as well. Now, currently, we have a kitchen window that faces east to the property. And what some of the benefits I currently enjoy from that are lots of sunlight. Get to see my neighbors walking their dogs, the daily goings on, and the lovely 75-year-old bungalow that currently exists. The development is approved. What do I get in exchange for my $10,000 in property taxes? A 3-story brick wall, 3 feet from my window, and losing all these lovely benefits. We have mature trees in the front, to the backyard, to the east, adjacent to the subject property, some 25 years and older, which have deep roots, much like the 75-year-old bungalow. And again, I'm concerned that the development will result in the destruction and my enjoyment of these amenities. We only have access to the backyard on the east side. And again, I'm concerned about, well, the ability to access the yard and damage and destruction through the pathway and the fence on that side of the house. And we're also concerned about lack of safety and respect for the area, its neighbors, and property.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for the resident? No? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's hear from the next gentleman.
Hello, my name is Michael Fitzpatrick. I live at 241 Johnston, also directly beside the subject property. So good afternoon, members of the committee. I thank you for the opportunity to speak. I appreciate the applicant has revised the design so that the height is no longer increased. However, the walkout basement remains, and that continues to create significant impacts to my property and is not consistent with the neighborhood whatsoever. I'm not aware of any walkout basements in our neighborhood. I'm sure there may be some, but it's very out of character. Even without a height variance, the walkout condition creates fully exposed level facing my property. This results in a much taller perceived elevation along the shared lot line, overlook and privacy loss into my rear yard, a rear facade that functions like a 3-story wall, even if technically compliant in height, a condition that is not typical or characteristic of our street. The other item I want to raise, which I'm surprised was not discussed yet, was urban forestry objection. There's urban forestry, my understanding, has objected or requested to deny. There's 2 different conditions there. I'm not really clear on what they're saying, but I want to highlight that there are 2 massive pine trees that are approximately 80 foot in height, and they're right on the property line, right at the back of my house, within arm's length of the house, and the canopy goes over the property 20 feet. Half, like the property is 40 feet wide. the canopy of these trees go 20 feet over the property. So they basically, the roots would be all under this house. And there's been no discussion about this and no discussion with me about this. And who's gonna deal with that? The property, the trees are technically on my side, but they're right where this build would happen. I personally built my house 9 years ago to not impact those trees. I did not dig up, and I don't know how or why nobody's has considered this. Urban forestry has clearly stated the application to injure or remove is required, and that process has not been completed. Until this review is done, the committee does not have the full picture of the environmental impact. This is one of the strongest grounds for deferral. Even with the height revision, the remaining variances tied to the walkout basement still create significant adverse impacts. For that reason, I do not believe the application meets Planning Act tests to being minor or desirable, particularly regarding privacy overlook, neighborhood character, or tree protection. I respectfully request that the committee refuse the application or at minimum defer until Urban Forestry completes its review and provides a clear position. The applicant revises the design to eliminate or mitigate the walkout condition and its impacts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions for the resident? No, all right. Thank you very much. Let's have the applicant back. I believe that's everyone who's here on this item to address those comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'm going to start in order based on the concerns that we just heard. I did take notes, so if I missed something, I apologize. In relation to Dan's comments, the concern with neighborhood character and integrity, part of a cornerstone policy of the official plan, policy 4.1.5, requires that any development, including that before the committee today, must consider the established character, the prevailing patterns of built forms. There's a number of evaluation criteria. Respectfully, it's our opinion, excuse me, I'm getting over cold myself. It's our opinion that the tests under the official plan for maintaining and protecting the established neighborhood character have been satisfied. As I mentioned in my presentation and in those visual surveys, there is quite a diversity of built forms. This again leads to an eclectic neighborhood character. The idea is that the neighborhoods can evolve, but it needs to be compatible. It needs to be consistent with what the established character and established characteristics are. So again, respectfully, we feel that this application has met that criteria. In terms of the concern with flooding, which we heard from Dan as well as Michael, there is the legal onus on any property owner to manage drainage and flooding within the limits of their property. Now, typically, this is not dealt with as part of a committee of adjustment application. It will certainly be dealt with as part of the future permitting. So there will be site servicing plans, site grading plans. This is something that will be looked at very, very carefully. In terms of the concern with sunlight and shadowing, so again, there is a variety of ways that this can be handled. In terms of shadowing and privacy concerns, there is privacy fencing along the shared property line, so this alleviates and mitigates privacy and overlook concerns. Additionally, the home is not seeking reduced side yard setbacks, so it is within the established built envelope that is established by zoning. So this also alleviates concerns in terms of shadowing, sunlight protection, as well as privacy and overlook. In terms of the concern about tree damage and tree preservation, so we are and we will be required to prepare and submit a injury to either injure or remove trees. That is a separate process through urban forestry. We have received and reviewed the urban forestry report. So respectfully, the condition that is seeking to be replied is condition 2, which requires that a permit be applied for. Again, that is a process that can occur concurrently. The process has started. It has not been completed just yet. In terms of access to the adjacent property, so again, there is privacy fencing to be provided We are not seeking and we do not consider to encroach into the adjacent property. The adjacent property's access would be maintained. That's not something that would be touched on. It also does not trigger part of the variance application. In terms of the concern with the rear walkout basement, this does not trigger a variance in and of itself. Walkout basements are a feature, especially not only within this neighborhood, but other homes within the surrounding area. It allows for a natural and logical extension of indoor living spaces to the exterior privacy, private amenity areas provided in the rear yard. Additionally, the rear walkout basement is situated along the rear wall, so would be imperceptible from the public street and from the public realm. Lastly, again, in terms of the concern with trees and forestry, we have reviewed the forestry condition. We are accepting of it. We understand that that is a typical process. Additionally, I'd just like to highlight the trees that are sought to be preserved along the rear property line. The home itself has been situated quite far away from the rear property line. It's more than 14 meters, which greatly exceeds the required minimum rear yard setback. Again, trees and preservation is something that we are looking at carefully. We have taken that concern to heart, along with the concern about flooding. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Sorry, sir, we can't, you've had your time to speak, so at this point, we're just dealing with the applicant. Sorry. Question for you. Did community planning staff, I would extrapolate from their report recommending the refusal, did they request that you reduce the height of the walls?
They did. So they asked that we look at it in totality, which we did.
Yep.
Understanding that there are various ways that that can be dealt with. So that was part of the conversation, certainly.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other questions? No? All right. I think we're ready to take this into committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone want to start? In this case, I mean, I think a lot of things have been done to mitigate the impact of this house in terms of maintaining the side yards. The rear yard is substantial. You know, they're addressing a lot of the issues, but I still have a concern with the mass of this house, and I think it's exacerbated by the main wall heights on all sides. So I'm not so concerned with the number of stories, and the coverage is fairly minimal. But I do have concern with the heights, and I don't think there's enough justification for it personally. Anyone else? Ms. Sankar?
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. I've been thinking about that as well, because I'm not so worried about the concerns of forestry. I know that this will be subject to that, but when looking at what the staff report has expressed and some of the comments that were made, and then sort of just the elimination of variance number 2 to have sort of an overall impact of a semblance of height reduction, I keep not really getting a fulsome explanation to address all the other variances that the staff report had clearly indicated as concerning. But I'd like to hear from my colleagues as well if that's the same take that they have.
Mr. Bartolo?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I think your comments kind of summed it up for me as well. I mean, in principle, I don't have a big problem with the applicant. I'm not concerned about the number of stories. The walkout is not really subject to this. The drainage will be dealt with through engineering and as a requirement, and the trees will be dealt with through the forestry process. It's really just about those side main wall heights. And I think a lot of this is driven by the ceiling height on the ground floor. So for my 2 cents, I'm in agreement with you, Madam Chair.
Would someone like to make a motion? Mr. Bartolo?
Sure, I can put forward a motion there. I'll put forward a motion to approve a modified application. I don't have an issue with variance number 1. I don't have an issue with variance number 5, and variance number 2 has been removed. So I'll put forward a motion to approve this application subject to the following revisions. Variance number 2 be removed, variance number 3 be removed, variance number 4 be removed, and variance number 1 and 5 are approved and subject to the conditions of the urban forestry memo attached.
Do we have a seconder? Ms. Sankar? All in favor? That is carried. The application as amended and modified has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Item 10. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Number 11, 12 Reddick Court. This is an application to construct a new dwelling. We have variances for building length, building depth, lot coverage, front yard setback, rear yard setback, driveway width, area of a platform at or above the second story. On file, we have a survey, revisions, revised plans dated Jan 5th, tree protection plans, supporting materials, superseded plans, arborist report, urban forestry memo, a community planning staff report, and 4 letters of no objection. I guess we could say 4 letters of support. Anyway, let's have our applicant, please. I assume they're online and there's no one in the audience on this item. All right.
Yes, I'm here. It's Sarah Ifra, agent for the applicant. The address is 603 Vesta Drive, and it's M5N1J2.
Thank you very much. And before we begin, do you have any changes to make to the application today?
Yes, per my presentation slides that I submitted, we're eliminating variance number 7. So that platform that you just mentioned, we're actually eliminating that variance.
Okay, thank you. Any other changes?
No other changes.
All right. Doesn't appear we have anybody here in the audience. Do we want a presentation? No? All right. I don't think we need a presentation unless there's something you wish to point out.
No, I mean, if anyone has any questions, I can definitely answer them for you. But I think in discussion with planning, their only main concern really was the platform at the second floor. They understood the way that the lengths work, and there were 1-story bump outs and things like that. The house is relatively minor in terms of scale, because the numbers make it sound like a big box, but it kind of undulates in and out. So if there are no questions, then I don't want to take up anybody's time.
All right, thank you. Does anyone on committee have any questions for the applicant? No? All right, then we'll just take this into committee for a decision. Does somebody want to start? Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. In evaluating this one, I understand kind of the pie-shaped lot and the undulations of the house, and I've gone through the staff report, and I think those items will be addressed. So therefore, I'm comfortable with it. I can put forward a motion to approve this application with the following revisions: that variance number 7 be deleted, that variance number 5 be developed substantially in accordance with the site plan drawings submitted to the Committee of Adjustment, and subject to the conditions of the urban forestry memo attached.
All right, and that is forestry number 3, I believe, the condition?
I have to check the list, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, good. Okay, do we have a seconder? Ms. Klein? All in favor? That is carried. The application as amended has been approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, item number 12, 41 Thurston Road. An application to permit a front yard parking pad. The application, or sorry, the variances are for location of a parking space, front yard landscaping, parking space width, and parking space length. On file, we have a survey, plans, site photos, supporting material, planning rationale, and a transportation services report. We have our applicant in front of us. Welcome. Mr.
Good morning,
Bader.
Chair and members. My name is Robert Bader, B-A-D-E-R. I reside at 38 Albany, A-L-B-A-N-I with an I, Street in South Etobicoke.
Thank you. Any changes? No, I guess probably not to make to the application, or do you?
Yes, there are substantial changes. There's,
Oh.
we've been working with Urban Forestry Services to look to protect the service berry tree that's located on city property in the front yard.
Okay.
But we have managed to reduce, we've made iterations to the design of the parking pad, and we've managed to remove 2 of the variances and reduce another of the variances.
All right.
It's
So
raised another variance.
Oh.
Raised an additional variance. So we're happy to defer, or if the committee is prepared to hear this matter before them now, then we're prepared to proceed.
I don't think we're able to add a variance at the committee, so it would have to be a question of deferral.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're happy to do that.
All right. We just have to hear from the neighbor who is has concerns or wants to speak to the application. Do we have them online? Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Joe, do you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good morning.
Good
Okay,
morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairperson. My name is Carmel, and I reside at 45 Thurston Road. My family members.
Sorry, your last name, please?
Carmel O'Neill.
Thank you. And just before you say anything, the applicant is requesting a deferral because they've made changes to the application, but they've identified an additional variance, but they will be removing some of them. But anyway, they've asked for a deferral to another time. So do you have any concerns with that?
No, but I'd like to speak now that I'm here.
Well, we're not discussing the application. We're just making a decision on the deferral of the application. So your opportunities. Yeah, the application is going to change, and it's best to wait until you have the revised application to make comments.
Okay, but may I say one thing? I do not have internet. I'm using a lawyer's office, and I don't have data on my phone. I'm using it. I'm just saying that I have to get here, and I'm close to 70 years old. I'll just let you know that. And I have written up something to be within 5 minutes. So
Sorry,
you're telling
we don't want to hear comments on the current application because it's going to change. You are able to come to City Hall to see the plans?
Madam Chair, why don't I suggest if she could summarize, perhaps it might help the applicant understand the neighbor's concerns, if she
Sure.
could just summarize her
And
concerns?
then maybe the applicant can undertake to provide her with a copy of the plans.
Begging
revised plans.
the chair and members' assistance. We will be reaching out to the
Okay.
neighbor.
All right.
So we can do this at another time. It's hard for me to get the information
Right, so-
to supply. Yeah.
So the information will be provided to you, but perhaps as the Secretary Treasurer said.
Can you do it in letter form and
Yes,
delivered to my door?
Oh.
That's what
It's up
I'm
to the applicant if they could do that. You will get a notice which will provide the list of variances and I guess a plan of what's proposed. Correct?
Yes, because I'm
Begging
looking at
the
a
chair
3-page
members and
letter.
judges, we have canvassed the neighborhood to solicit support from all of the neighbors on Thurston Road.
And have you spoken to this
We
resident?
have dropped envelopes in the mail with a
Okay.
full and complete
Contact.
identification of what it is that we're proposing.
And
We
contact.
will circle back with
Okay.
this immediate resident in
Okay.
the future.
All right.
Yes,
Prior
because
to any deferral.
I don't have internet access, computer. I don't have data. I'm not familiar with it. So
It's okay.
I'm difficult for me. All right. I'd appreciate that. And thank you very much, Ms. Chairperson.
You're welcome. Would you like to just tell us what your major concerns are so that the applicant has that information going forward?
I interject. I'm acting as her solicitor. My name is Paul Michael Huckins.
Correct.
Practicing in Toronto.
Okay.
Major difficulty is the mutual walkway, which has been defined in the documentation, is really a mutual driveway. The difference between a walkway, according to the documentation, and a driveway is 2 inches. They're looking for half a meter variance. And if they get this parking spot, they've got a place to park. And meanwhile, the previous owner put in a window well, and the present owners have put in a fence, and garbage cans are constantly in the driveway. And if they get a parking spot, my client won't be able to drive into her garage at the back of her property, which she's been able to do all the time that it's been in her family, which is when the house was built. It will also prevent any subsequent owner from accessing the garage in the back using a small car, I admit, but using the mutual drive. That's the major objection.
All right. Thank you. We'll let the applicant take that away and they will address it. And when we hear back from them with the new application, revised application, we can deal with it then. So note
Thank
to
you.
self. Thank you. All right. Committee, the deferral request is before us. Would someone like to make a motion? Mr. Bartolo?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Obviously, large changes are afoot on this file, so I'll put forward a motion to defer this application to allow the applicant to make modifications and submit.
Thank you. And a seconder? Ms. Sankar, thank you very much. All in favor of the deferral request? That is carried. The application's been deferred. You're welcome. All right. Do we have our number? We haven't heard back from number 3? Yeah. Well, I wonder if they are, based on the email from staff, whether they were thinking it'd be deferred?
Madam Chair, we have an Eric Lash that is present in the hearing. I have no idea if online.
Oh, thank you. Regarding,
See, we don't know.
oh, okay.
There was no mark on this yesterday. Okay, thanks. Is it a place that you see? Like you would have saw it?
No. Hello? Okay, thank you. All right, so we don't think they're related to that file. What was the number again? 3? Right, 220 REDPATH. All right, so how do we handle that?
My recommendation is you defer it.
Okay, good idea. All right. Would someone like to make a motion to defer? Ms. Sankar?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to defer this application sine die to allow the agent to come in and represent the file well so that adequate decision-making can be done.
Thank you very much. And a seconder, Ms. Klein. All right, all in favor of the deferral request? That is carried. All right, we are done the morning agenda, I believe, which means we will be back at 2 p.m.